Jonathan Veely and Osmond. You're famous, David.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you guys. All right, nice. Here's one of the entrances. Here you go. It's a show, baby. That's over here. I'm gonna find Scott. No, I gotta find Travis. That's who I've gotta find. There's Travis. He's gonna work in my pens. If I can find the guy. Here we go. There you go.
Yeah, Parker vacuumatic mechanism. And there's a little pellet in here, and you gotta get it out. So I'm trying to just
Travis,
break it
badass.
up. Hey,
Say hi to the
Todd.
people.
Hey, people.
Right. Just getting a little taste of the
Howdy.
show, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this pellet cap cleaned out.
Nice.
Parker Vacuumatic here. Nice Vacuumatic Senior. Dual
Cool.
fold, striped dual fold. There's the barrel.
There it is.
It's a little
A little magic in the making here,
thing,
folks.
so gonna get it working for somebody.
Nice.
Because how am I gonna do that, right?
Right.
These aluminum. Oh, hello.
Hey.
These aluminum sack protectors can be a real bugger because they get crimped, but they're
Right.
very delicate. So you have to uncrimp them, but not break them.
And so much of this stuff is just how much pressure or force or what temperature you're at, you know?
It's exactly. It's small, repeated small movements, repeated delicate movements. You're kind of easing things and just taking it slow.
Exactly.
Pen repair is not a rushed thing.
Bingo.
And when people tell me, how quickly can you get it done? I'll get it done when I get it done.
You got it.
Unless you would prefer me to rush it, in which case you're acknowledging a higher risk, which most people don't want to do.
Oh, now I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, I had those pens, and that David Nishimura let me look at, and I wanted to bring them back, but I was like, but they're expensive. I don't own all of them, and you know what I mean? And I'm going on a plane. It's just who knows. So anyway, Mike had a few pens of mine that he was repairing, and one of them was I think it was actually an emblem, not really a 100-year.
Right.
And the barrel cracked. And he didn't do anything. It was just in the case. You know, it happens. You know, so he's going to get a new barrel.
Yeah.
But I was just like, and it's not a big deal.
Are you making video here?
I'm making a video right now. Dimitri.
The famous Dimitri.
Exactly. But yeah, you never know. You know, sometimes stuff happens. It's just random.
It does. And you just have to say it. There is risk when you do this.
Exactly.
Do you know how to do it?
Is this a modern one?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the same as the old one. Is Mike here? Did you ask Mike Conway? Mike. He would know how it's done.
Oh, did I just? There you go.
We ship all
Hi.
over the world.
That's better. This is Carol being Carol. Now she's going to do the health conscious thing here and do that, right? How's the show going?
Show's been great. I always
Good.
love this show. It's one
Yeah.
of my favorite shows. You come for the pens and you stay for the people.
Exactly. I kind of did the reverse almost. You know, I mean, I came here in debt. I already owed thousands of dollars to David Nishimura.
Oh, yeah.
It's just-
The best pens you buy are the ones before the show.
Exactly. And yesterday, yeah, I just went nuts yesterday. It was just like, oh no, they have ATMs? Stop. Don't. You're killing me. It's Dale down there. Nice. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good.
I Thank you and enjoy.
149, it's some
Sorry. Oh man, too funny. Osman, say hi to the people.
Hi, people. How are you?
Good. Legend Osman Simmer, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on.
Oh, you're the best. Are you kidding? You gave me a beautiful pen.
I did.
So
I'm happy.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
Good luck to you.
It's a nice pen.
He's at the table while I
Cool stuff. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Happy pen show so far?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
The people. Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. Yeah, so many great people, you know, and I finally get to meet everyone.
Yeah.
You know, so it's cool. Yeah, because it's like you see the faces and you hear about everybody, and you finally get to see who's out there. And okay, cool. All right, too. All right. I'm putting the name with the face, and yeah, it's funny. Some people look like their photos, and other people don't at all. You know, it's so weird. Like there's some people you're like, oh, that's Miro, you know, or that's Osman.
You know the face, but you forget the name.
Yeah. And then who else? Well, like Mac Greenberger looked different to me somehow. You know, I don't know why, but he looks different in photos. You know, so some people do. You know, just that's the way it is. Say hi to the people.
Hi.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy pen show.
Yeah, why not?
Hey,
There you go. So-
pen show. I think tomorrow change your life.
Exactly.
Fountain pen day. Tomorrow, I think, is fountain pen day.
Is it tomorrow or today? I thought it was.
I don't know.
See, this guy here is the one who made me come. You wouldn't stop.
And this guy did all the logistics, apparently, I'd say.
Well, yeah, you're the guy who made.
He
Well,
understands the logistics better than I do.
well, yeah.
Of what? Just, get yourself to a fountain pen show that's
Well, the
not
little-
in your own town. You gotta do it.
Do a little of this, do a little of that, but you were unrelenting. You did not stop, and I said, you know what?
Only for about a half hour.
Yeah. No, that was good. That was good.
This should be just the beginning.
Right. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
mean, you made it. You made it to the auction, that's commendable.
Did you see what I got?
No, we'll check out later. What did you get?
I got a really nice lot. I got 6 pens for $150, all flexible nibs, all from the 20s.
Nicola Penny was showing me he had like 5 or 6 lots, and they were all in that 150 to 200 range.
Yeah.
And not, maybe a little bit of tweaking here and there, but they were all very excellent pens.
Yeah. One's a J. Harris, which.
Oh, J. Harris is a really excellent company under
Yeah.
second tier or third tier, but really great.
But
Is it
apparently
gold
what they
overlay?
did is no, they're all just
I think J.
hard
Harris
rubber.
Gold overlay, and with a Waterman nib that was in it. Oddly enough.
Apparently they were a jobber and they took like overstock
They're
stuff like
sturdy pens.
from Parker and Schaefer and all those
I
guys.
only know them from the 1920s.
Yeah,
When did they start? Probably late teens.
I have no idea. Yeah, I mean I just found out about it talking to Nick.
I'll show you some pens and
Yeah.
books and stuff. Sure. Gerardo's watching my seat.
Cool.
He's in from Paris.
Nice. This is Alina. Hello. Got a bunch of pens here. This is Mike's stuff. We're gonna spend more time with Mike and Scott. Hey, you're looking marvelous, darling. Here's some of Scott's stuff.
This is Gerardo.
Gerardo, pleasure. Gerardo, say hi to the people.
Seasoned veteran of fountain pen shows.
Nice.
And a nice guy.
Well, everybody's mood is so up, so high that you know what I mean? You have to be a real jerk,
No, everyone's got their issues, but
Sure.
they're ironed out at fountain pen shows.
Exactly. There he is.
So I
Mike.
put these out for you.
Nice.
It's Waterman, Evans, Humber Filler, and 2 Aiken Lamberts that are, as a few other people put it, they're a little bit sturdier even than a 52.
Oh, right. So here's Scott's latest book. Look at this crazy. Oh, you know what? It's the lights. That is crazy.
Yeah, I think it's like a moire effect,
Yeah, it's
right?
like a strobing effect.
Yeah, I do an illustration every day since 2012, so about
That's great.
next year will be my 12th year, and this is what the actual book looks like. This is from from October 29th. And on the back, I generally write the date, the 4,289 consecutive drawing, the temperature, the location. It was in central New York at the time, and my initial. So
Nice.
if someone rips this out 100 years from now, they'll have like.
The weather conditions.
Well, no, it's kind of like what phones do is they automatically geotag and do all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have to manually do it. So. And I draw with vintage fountain pens. This is from about 1890. It's a crazy.
There you go.
And they work right away too. This is a wonderful pen. Yeah, it's nice one.
I love the chasing on that.
Betzler and Wilson. I have a wort here. These are 1880 or so.
Yeah, delicious.
This one has like an overfeed. And really a giver of ink. All the ink is. Oops, there's a little bit left. You got to watch out for these things occasionally.
Well, and what was I doing
Part
earlier?
of the price of admission with the earlier pens.
See, you're not doing it right if you don't have ink all over your hands.
Yeah. Right. Well, I'm a neat freak. I kind of don't like getting ink on my
I don't either. Well, I had to fill up the
So
pen. So,
come to a show, pick up my book. You could. Here's my website, Scott Jones,
Oh,
New
yeah.
York. New York is where I live, so it's just scottjonesnewyork.com.
there you go.
And there's one drawing every day. Actually, there's a picture of me in the back with Mike Daigle and Miro and
Oh, nice.
Miro
That's great.
and Richard Lott.
That's
This
great.
is at the DC show.
Oh yeah, there he is.
And then my previous books are in the beginning here. My previous 4 books. And I have a few examples of the previous 4 books right here.
There you go. I was gonna say this. Start with the spines.
Yeah. I'm missing one of the books here. The second book sold.
I've got a mini collection of them going myself.
Yeah, no. Fun stuff. And if anyone wants to ask, I use Waterman Black ink. So nice, safe ink.
Exactly.
But when I use dip pens, I use India ink. Or Sumi ink.
Do you use like gum arabic or anything?
No, just I mean, they'll have that stuff in it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't do the mixtures myself.
Right.
Just, Sumi ink is fine. Just make sure you clean your nibs off and proper pen hygiene is
Got it.
always important. But it's part of the process. It turns it into a therapeutic
Exactly.
thing where it gets you away from the stresses of the day and allows you to focus in on your own attention rather than having a cell phone or media dictate where your attention span's going.
Speak of the devil.
I won't go on any further about that because that's a touchy subject or a debatable subject.
I'm with you though. I mean, you use the right tool and have some flexibility.
Yeah,
And try
that's
different stuff,
That's the fun of fountain pens. Whether you're collecting every color of Lamy Safari, or you're collecting every version of a Vacuumatic, or you're into really old school pens, or you can even go into a family dollar store.
Yeah, wasn't that wild?
And get what looks like a knockoff of a Safari, and for $1.25 you can get a pen that the first user will have to actually use a cartridge to get started, and that says something. It says they have to have a commitment to refilling their pen, which will start them off on a path to possibly getting something that's a little bit flashier or fun and
Yeah, and there were 100 ways to get into it. I mean, everybody's got a different story. How did you get? You know what I mean? I know how I got in, and it was a blast. For me, it started with antiques.
Oh, yeah.
I just loved the period, and it was like when I was in high school, I ended up getting everything from the 1920s. I had radios, magazines, tons of magazines. That's really what got me into the pens.
Yeah.
I had a fan, an electric fan. I had a phone. I had clothes, records, Victrolas.
I don't totally encompass like a complete lifestyle of a decade or a period. I take bits and pieces from different eras. I think the 19th century hit a pinnacle of success in illustrating in periodicals. Illustrators were, when you think about it, musicians and actors are recorded now for people to worship or idolize. Back then they didn't have those recorded. you had illustrators presenting the world, so the illustrators of the time were household names, like Thomas Nast, who invented the Republican and Democratic iconography of a donkey and an elephant, created the modern Santa Claus, or at least elevated it to a new level of what people know that it is. Uncle Sam, just a myriad of caricatures that you can still carry through to this day, but obsessive cross-hatching. But with the advent of photography being reproduced in these periodicals using the Ben-Day process, which is like a dot matrix process, it was the beginning of the end of these fine craftsmen. And it started in the 1880s, 1890s. And by the 1930s, you hardly saw illustrated periodicals anymore. You started to see comic books.
Yeah.
You started to see Superman and Batman and funny animal comics coming out. And it was a totally different scene.
Yeah. I mean, look at the art of engraving at like the 1890s. It's just unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
you
no,
know?
that was another period that just kept on going. And then I think after World War I, that engraving started to become a back burner thing. Until now, we've got people doing Photoshop and embossments and filters, and then they punch that into a coin with not even the slightest inkling of what an engraving is.
Yeah, like, look at the educational series of paper money. It's absolutely astonishing. You know?
Things definitely change, but I mean, all generations have their pluses and negatives, their balancing scale. So there's some good things now that weren't then, and vice versa. So it wasn't like everything was good back then.
Oh no, of course not. You know, dentistry. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, you know, alienation of groups of people.
Oh yeah, it's endless. Extermination of entire populations.
People dressed better. They cared about their appearance, but people care about their appearance now. You know, they approach it in a different way. So to compare them is interesting, but to say one's better than the other is kind of folly.
Yeah, I mean, whenever it's amazing, I'll go to an antique shop and I'll always have some older woman say, "Oh, you were born in the wrong time," and I was like, no, I wasn't, because I get the benefits of what I'm in now.
Yeah, that always harkens to the Woody Allen movie. I think it's like a Night in Paris or something like that, where he goes back to previous artist movements. I think at the early or late 1890s or 1920s.
Yeah.
And the ultimate takeaway from that movie is the time you're living in is the best time. So, and you don't have an option either. So
Exactly. Right.
Appreciating back, you know, fountain pens is a great way to get things back on topic.
Yeah, and you get to be, you know, you get to create your own destiny. You get to create and curate the experience you have. You get to pick and choose. I want that. I want that. I don't want that. You know, and then you get the benefits of you know, being in a modern age, and you can say, and I can get a really cool, you know, vintage pen with flexible nibs and.
Sure. However, when the flexible nibs went by the wayside in lieu of stiffer nibs that were required to create carbon copies, a lot of the older generation were perturbed by that.
Exactly.
And so, like, our generation gets perturbed by seeing everyone sort of zombified looking at their phones. It's just natural.
And then there's Europe, like, you know, because they held on to flexible nibs for much longer. You know, so you get, you know, a Pelican from the 50s or the 60s. It's got a flexible nib. You know, no problem.
My grandfather said, if you live long enough, everything is going to completely turn 180 and then 180 again in a different direction and spiral into stuff that.
And that's the right word. It's not a circle; it's a spiral. Exactly.
But the thing is, though, always trying to maintain some of the adaptations to the changing times. Not totally, you know, giving into it, but adapting to it.
By the way, Miro.
Miro.
There you are.
Hi.
This is a good combo.
Life is good.
Life is damn good. That's great.
Because that's Easter. Yeah, Orthodox Easter.
Oh, take a picture of this.
This is video.
When I was younger,
Hi, George.
Wait, you're taking a picture of me?
I'm taking a video.
Oh. Video.
well, that's understandable. The reason why is I want you to go to this one too.
Oh, I know. You know, everybody.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I plan on it now.
Yeah.
I have no choice.
That's going to be a good show.
See, that? Yeah. It's not far from the airport.
A few days, or?
Huffman Estates.
Yeah, it's like a run-up.
Who?
It's close to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this one is very walkable to there's a Target and some restaurants.
Oh,
here.
cool. All right. Yeah, it's an actual town.
It's an easy location.
Yep.
My father.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Some more stuff. Pauletta pens. Oh, these are great. These are fun. Schaefer Heaven. I wonder if they still have that. I think they do. Great notebooks. Fun. Some pen holders here.
$20.
There. Beautiful.
You want to get two?
The non-pen stuff. Esther Brooks for days. Lots of great stuff. You're telling people about,
Well,
you were there. You
no,
you were
I
there.
wasn't there.
No?
Well, I wasn't there when WA was.
No, I don't mean you were there. I know. You weren't there in 1913. No. But I mean, you worked at the company, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I worked there for 12 years from 1980 to 1992.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were still making good pens, though,
Well, everybody complains because they're made in China.
Right. Yeah.
But I think we need to start facing reality that
Yeah.
as these manufacturers get in years of experience, they get better, just like Schaefer did.
You're actually right.
To say, that's Chinese, I don't want that. A couple of my favorite, newer Schaefer was called the Intensity, and this is a fine pen, and none of them have gold nibs anymore. They're all steel nibs, but other than that, the workmanship on the pen is really nice.
And the truth,
Right up to Schaefer quality.
That's amazing. And you know what? I think you're right. 'Cause especially in literally like the past 5 years, I've seen a real improvement. I mean, literally that recently.
Well, years ago, I had a contact over in the Far East who would get me Chinese pens, and one time he got me some Chinese ink also, and I put together a little package for, I think it was, you got the pen and the bottle of ink for $15 with a money back guarantee.
Wow.
If there was something wrong with the pen, you just kept everything, told me, and I said, you check.
It's amazing.
And I probably sold maybe 3-4 dozen of those, and I got one. And I told him not to send me the pen because if it didn't work, what was I going to do with it?
Right.
And so I get this piece of junk that looked like it had been run over by a freight train.
Man.
And the guy says, I can't get it to work.
Right. Well, you just look
Can I
at it.
get my money back?
Right.
So I sent him his money back, But that's the only one I've ever had. It was obvious he didn't know what he was doing. It just destroyed the pen trying to make it do something.
Well, you're like LL Bean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This shirt is worn out. Yeah, you bought it 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take. I mean, they at least until recently they would still do that. They would still take it. It's like, Hey there. Modesty. But, you know, standing behind a product, and that's what a difference that makes. You know, that's part of what got me back into these, or got me into these in the first place. Like, I was really into the 1920s when I was a teenager. So I bought a lot of stuff from there, and I had magazines, and I read the ads, and they were bragging about, you know, Parker's like, oh yeah, we can throw this pen out of a plane, and, you know, and those sort of stuff. And it's like, oh look, pressureless writing, you can. And it's like, okay, so put your money where your mouth is. And then I bought one, and I was like, you know what, they're right. This is a great pen. You know.
Did you know that Parker actually had a commercial airline for a while?
That's so wild. I had no idea.
I think the second flight went down and killed everybody on board.
Ooh.
That was the end of Parker Airlines.
Oh my God. No wonder I've never heard of it. Nobody wanted to bring it up.
Parker also owns Manpower.
Oh, that's wild. I had no idea. Huh.
Human Resources Director, and he quit making nibs.
Huh. But that they were, yeah, I just can't believe that they
We're
were.
not going to allow him grind those babies. No, can't do it that way.
Yeah, that's too funny.
He was a character, I guess.
It's amazing how many great pen companies were kind of in the middle of nowhere and in the Midwest.
Oh yeah.
Like Ohio's got tons of them, right? I mean, there's Weidlich or Weidlich, however you want to say it, in Cincinnati. They make amazing nibs.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got Conklin.
Was Freischreiber from
They're
Ohio?
I think they're aren't they Chicago? I think they were Chicago. Yeah, but there were a ton. Who else was in John Holland was out here, I believe. I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, sure.
Who else? There were just a ton. Yeah, Conklin, as I said. Was Ryder out here in Ohio?
I don't know.
Paul Wirt, those guys. Ohio is a really big one. And then, of course, you've got Janesville for Parker. You've got Fort Madison for Schaefer. And people don't realize how itinerant people were back then, too.
It's from the 1890s.
Over there, that's Troy.
Nice.
Let's see if I can zoom into you. There you are. I'm zooming in.
That's amazing. I haven't done everything.
I just want to show the world how great you are. Thank you for being the best host ever.
Thank you for being here.
That was the number I was just thinking of. Honest to
Can
God.
I write you a check?
Yes. Is it a good check?
It is a fabulous check.
I take credit cards too.
Very nice.
Forgot this one.
We want to grab David before you go. Just wanted to see you. And David's son, hi. And Travis, hi. We should take a look at some of your magic here.
Oh, is this on video or is
A little
this
bit. I mean, it's up to you.
No, it's good.
We can get rid of it.
No, you're fine. This is just gentle scraping.
Yeah, that's just fun.
Learn from experience that I scrape towards, because there's a good place the blade will stop, and there's less of a chance if it catches that you'll break this.
That's what I was
You
going
go
to say.
this way,
And you get that
and it
conchoidal
catches,
fracture.
so you go the other way.
Yep.
And there's different techniques and different people. You know, some people use a Dremel tool with a brass, brush wheel on it, and it goes fast, and that's fine.
No, this is nice because it's slow. You can control it. You
Slow
know?
and tedious, and well, it's not tedious. I like this sort of repetitive because I could talk
Yeah.
and work, talk about music, and then I take a brass and I just finish it off.
Cool stuff.
Just light. And then eventually these are all going to go in the ultrasonic cleaner to clean out the insides, but But first I clean out the outside.
And the beauty of things like this is that you can do it at a show. It's not like it's going to take a week for you to do
Right.
it, you know?
Yeah. That's exactly right. Get it all done at a show.
On the other hand, if you had a plunger filler, you wouldn't even be able to do it.
I wouldn't. No.
You're right.
Not at all. I can do vacuumatics at the show. I can do safeties at the show. And see, this is an example. Sometimes they just peel right off, you know,
Yeah.
with no residue left over. And other times they're, and this one is going to be a pain to dig out of the barrel, I'm guessing, because it's gooey and it's
Yep.
stuck in there.
And that's the other thing too. You get two flavors. You know, you get shattered into a million bits,
Right.
or goo,
Those are your choices.
and nobody knows why.
It's really bizarre, honestly.
Yeah, it's one of the
And
mysteries.
I would prefer shattered over goo every day because they're so much easier to clean out.
Yep.
Sometimes the goo, you find it gets stuck to the lever bar inside the pen. Then you're risking damaging that as you're trying to get the sack out.
Yep.
Depending on the kind of lever bar. Sometimes the lever bar comes out with the sack. Then you got to reset it. No big deal.
It's great.
So all you people out there, patience is the biggest key, which is the hardest thing about doing it at a pen show.
Yep.
But-
Because people want it now.
Yeah, and I always tell people to come back at the end of the day, last 30 minutes of the show. And if that doesn't work, then you're asking to rush me. Do you really want to rush
No.
me working on a vintage pen? No. The
It's been
answer is
around for
no.
100 years, and you
Yeah.
can't wait 10 minutes or a day or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And oftentimes it's done before the end of the day. I say, as you walk around, check back in and see, if I've gotten
Yeah.
to it, then I've gotten to it. But
It's like getting your car fixed.
it's like getting your car fixed. Except
A lot cheaper.
a lot cheaper.